Hi everyone, welcome back to my art channel. I'm Z. I'm a picture book illustrator and a polymer clay sculpture artist. I'm really happy that you're here. It's been 2 months since I last shared anything here. Wow, I never imagined such a big gap would happen on my channel. There's actually a lot to talk about, but I saved that for the next video. In this video, I'm finally able to show you a sketchbook tour, and honestly, I'm really happy that I managed to fill an entire sketchbook before the end of 2025. 2025 was my best year as an artist, and everything really started when I quit my job. It was almost a full-time job, even though it wasn't supposed to be, but inevitably I had to spend most of my time working as a nail artist. But I won't recommend you to just quit your job to follow your dreams. You need to think about different aspects first. At the beginning of the 2025, I decided that enough was enough because I was really exhausted, and I realized I couldn't continue my artistic journey or create the work I wanted without letting that job go. I simply couldn't focus on my illustrations and paintings anymore. This sketchbook is my very first sketchbook tour ever. I decided to write the date and the year on each sketchbook cover because I want to keep them and look back at them in a few years from now. The main technique I use through this sketchbook is ink, different type of inks of course. Most of the drawings are based on ideas that have been living in my head for a long time. You know, I'm really drawn to whimsical illustrations, and one of my biggest dreams is to illustrate a picture book filled with whimsical characters, stories, and little moments happening in their world. Trying different techniques is really important to me when I work in a sketchbook. A sketchbook is a private place. A place to explore, to experiment freely without worrying about other people's eyes. Your mistakes can stay yours, and of course your victories can be shared, but you never have to be afraid of ruining a sketchbook. In this piece, I started with a simple HB pencil, and then I added colors using acrylic markers, and the result turned out really cute, at least for me. What do you think about it? I really like this one. The character is so cute. I probably work with her again. Maybe create a little word for her. Hi from my little assistant. I love this character, how quietly she's trying to coming out of the book. It makes it really whimsical. This is one of the pieces I explored a lot. I learned that when you mix different types of acrylic markers, especially from different brands, they can react in unexpected ways. That allowed me to create a lot of beautiful textures using this technique. And honestly, the idea and the character were really cute to me. And this one marks the beginning of my journey with ink, markers, ballpoint pens, and liners. At the start of the sketch, I never imagined that the final result could be this much exciting and beautiful. It might look a bit messy, but I felt very free while working with this technique, experimenting with different textures and letting things unfold. You know, the calm character in the middle of this scene and jungle is really important for me. This sketch feels very mysterious to me. It's inspired by an ancient Iranian story from the Book of Kings about Siyabash, a tragic character who must prove his innocence by riding his black horse through fire. I love this sketch because it holds a lot of emotions for me. And this one is somehow a self-portrait. This piece celebrates finishing a sketchbook with my little assistant on my head, and my tiny bird always is besides me. And because I love whimsical magical illustrations, wings have become one of my favorite symbols to include in my artworks. Honestly, I don't really like this one. It's just a quick idea, but still there is big emotion in her portrait. I guess I'll use it in future illustrations. This is one of my favorites so far. I love the whole idea, the mix of a human character with a plant holding stuffs, feeling surprised and deeply connected to her environment. I think it's one of the strongest illustrations in this sketchbook, and I'm planning to hang it in my new art studio soon. This one feels very myth-like, almost like a mythology character. I focused a lot on his clothes, patterns, and designs because I believe details are really important when creating characters and illustrating. But of course, it must be relatable details that make your story stronger. This is another concept I explore often. I've worked on a similar character before using colored pencils. I'll share a link of the whole process above. I feel like this idea is a way of showing respect to the nature and reminding us we need to feel for it and take care of the nature, of course. I hate this one. It's a total failure. I have nothing to say about it. Yeah. Let's go to the next one, please. Designing dragons and fairy houses is always one of my favorite things to work on. In this piece, I made a quick sketch exploring a tiny insect world. They are trying to protect their castle, and maybe the dragon is their guard. The story behind it could be really cute for kids, of course. This naughty boy is hanging upside down from a tree holding his scared cat, and he doesn't care. He feels like a hero using his mother's dress as a cap to pretend he's Superman. Yeah. I like the idea behind this sketch, but honestly, I somehow ruined her anatomy. I think the portions are not quite right, and I guess I'm going to work on it in the future, maybe make it more in details. This little mouse is another favorite of mine. He's holding a needle and looking at something unseen. Some illustrations are just full of story potential, and I think this is one of them. And at the same time, he feels like a guard protecting something, and on the other hand, he seems like he's trying to ask for help. And this green monster is another idea I really like, and I made 2 sketches of him. I think he'll have a special place in my future artworks because I'm drawn to nature, and creating a monster made of nature feels like a big promise. And this one combines a flying fish and a mad scientist. He's trying to build a flying machine with the fish, which looks far from being happy, but the scientist is thrilled and unaware of the risk and dangers waiting for him. This sketch means a lot to me. It's about a little boy fighting cancer. I wanted to give him a friend. The starfish covers his head like her after chemotherapy. And the medicine is illustrated as a cute flying character. I believe kids need to feel joy and sense of home to feel like real children, even while facing such difficult challenges. I made this sketch based on a common mistake that I am sure many artists have made. You suddenly realize you're drinking something that tastes awful instead of your cozy coffee. It's funny, when I shared it on my Instagram, so many artists comment, "Oh, we've had the same problem before." This is another scene of that naughty boy. I love the details in this sketch. The stick horse he's riding feels really alive to me. His head and the stick that he's holding are inspired from Rostam, a famous hero from the Book of Kings I mentioned earlier, and the boy is pretending to be that man. And yeah, I like it. I feel like it's really cute. This one is about respecting nature again. It shows a homeless man who's happy with his few friends, trees growing on his head, and a little bird trying to alert him about something happening in the jungle, but he seems really calm and caring about nothing, just enjoying the moment. I think this one is cute too. She's pretending to be the queen and she's exploring and finding mysterious islands by the help of her little assistant, the little bird I mean. And yeah, I like it, and I try to make details. As I mentioned earlier, it's really important to have a lot of details in illustrations. And yes, another respect to nature. I think this one is very symbolic. An old tree sits on a cut trunk which is trying to make new leaves, showing that life still exists within it. A nest and birds are also added to the scene to symbolize hope for the future of nature. I guess you're familiar with this one. It is also another naughty boy who is broken and who is really hopeless. Shredded. Yes, I think he's really cute. The way he's holding his toys and the way he's disappointed at himself. Yeah. This is another scene of that naughty boy. He's trying to defeat his pizza, and the monster is holding him back. Maybe they have to deal around the pizza. And I'm not sure what to say about this one. It's just a cute whimsical character like a little fairy. I focus on the details, designing her dress, shoes, and wings and accessories. There is no special story behind her, but if you have any idea, please share them with me. I really love this naughty boy again. He's so silly. He's being tricked by the ghosts into signing some contracts, maybe giving away his pizza for something magical that turns out to be just a lie. And this one, I love the idea and the feelings and how loose and flowing lines are. I felt really free working on this design, making it full of expressions and mysterious aspects. I'm pretty sure this will be one of the pieces I hang in my new studio soon. And these girls are another favorite of mine. I know the proportions and anatomy are unusual, but I think they are good together. And I love the result. I can't fully explain it, but I really enjoy working on these pieces, and they will be hanged next to the previous one in my new studio. This little man got a lot of reactions on my social media. People really enjoyed this illustration. I love it too. The color palette and the foggy atmosphere, and the little bird returning from a successful hunt with plenty of fresh fish. At first, I just imagined a cute bird in an unusual place, living alone, but some friends suggested that the idea of a lovely date, which makes it even sweeter. Let's stay positive. And this is the last illustration. I couldn't cut the paper because the pieces shared some spaces, so I left it as it is. I love the imaginative character on the right. The little girl flying on the stick on the left is also really interesting to me. Maybe she's a witch, or maybe she just discovered the stick and learned how to fly with this. Okay, thank you so much for staying with me until the end. I'm really happy to finally share this sketchbook tour with you. I can't wait to hear your thoughts and comments about my ideas and illustrations. Any suggestions are always welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to support my channel. In the next video, I'll share what I've been working on over the past months and my plans for the new year and much more. Okay, see you soon. Bye bye.